It's 65984 and 65985.
The New Yorkers.
How do you do, sir? Very nice to meet you. Harry and I would like to touch... I think I can speak for Harry. Would like to touch... Harry's a little nervous. And I am a little bit too, because this is a very different way of life from anything that we're used to. But we would like to touch base with you on one or two ideas that we think would make life a lot easier for all of us.
Do we have to listen to this?
I'm sorry, were you in the middle of something?
No, Mr. Wilson just doesn't feel the same need to be hospitable to our out-of-town guests as I do.
Get on the bull.
Get on the ball.
Get on the ball.
Oh, is that what that is? I didn't know. Oh, is that a recreational activity? I was hoping for volleyball or tennis.
And we have an annual prison rodeo.
Hello, welcome back to Bucks County Beer Reviews, and we're going to do another What If. We're just here to have a little fun and do a little experimenting with different kinds of alcohol. I reviewed this a few days ago, Kentucky Tangerine Cream Ale, 5.5% alcohol. And a couple of the things I said about it was, my biggest complaint about it was it didn't really taste like a beer, it tasted like soda to me. And the other thing was, although it's aged in bourbon barrels, it didn't have any bourbon flavor because they weren't used bourbon barrels. They were new bourbon barrels to give it a little bit of oak flavor. So tonight we're going to see if we can make it taste a little more bourbon-y by just adding a touch of bourbon. But before we do that, we're going to mix it with a Moosehead. Try to give it a beer flavor. Then we're going to try to top it off with a little bit of bourbon flavor. I got a couple cups here and a little glass for a shot of this. The bourbon I have is Evan Williams Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I picked that up relatively cheap. It was 14 bucks. It's normally 16 bucks. It was on sale, $2 off. So I figured that was perfect for this. So the first thing we're going to do is, first I got to pause it. I left my opener up there. Yeah, that's not a twist off. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Got my opener. Let's get this open. Give you a quick look at that. You can go back and watch my review if you like of it just a couple days ago. This one, 5.5% alcohol. Gets a 3.79 on Untapped with 10,544 reviews. I gave it a C because to me it didn't taste like beer and it had no bourbon flavor. Okay, I gotta make this last here. I got this one we're gonna mix with. This one I'm gonna drink the way it is. This one I'm gonna mix with beer. Maybe I should have brought down 2 bottles. I have 2 bottles of this. This one we're going to put a little bourbon in it and see what that does. That's not much beer to go around, is it? I'm going to pause it again. I'm going to go get my other bottle. Okay, I'm back. I have a second bottle. Might as well just open that right up. Okay. Put a little bit in each cup. All right, here we go. Now, first I'm going to do is let's give a little rehash on this Tangerine Cream Ale. Has a nice tangerine aroma. Cheers. Vanilla, kind of dry. Does not really come across as a beer, as what I normally would consider a beer. But it does taste good. It's not bad. There's a tiny bit of bitterness. I think I might have been a little harsh on it when I gave it a C, actually. I might want to raise that maybe to a B-. First impression wasn't that good, but it's kind of growing on me. All right. Now we're going to take the middle one here. We're going to add some Moosehead. Moosehead is 5%, 13 IBU. It gets a 3.17 on Untappd with 111,000 ratings. I think most of you are familiar with Moosehead. Still an independent brewery in Canada, product of Canada. Brewed and canned by Moosehead Breweries, St. John, New Brunswick, Canada. All right, that's enough of that. Let's just do it. We'll see if this makes Tangerine Cream Ale more of a beer. Or maybe it'll make it worse, but I doubt it. All right, let's see how that is. Not bad. It's got a better head on it. It retains some of the tangerine and vanilla flavor, but they're more subtle. And it does come across more like a beer to my liking. I actually think that's a little bit of an improvement over the regular Tangerine Cream Ale. Now this one, I'm only going to put a small amount of this Evan Williams in it. But first I'm going to try the Evan Williams. I have had this, but it was years ago. And I don't really remember much about it other than it's bourbon. Has a nice aroma. Obviously it smells strong, alcohol-wise. I'm not much of a bourbon guy. I'm certainly no expert. But I can still give you my opinion on it. Cheers. Ooh. The heat on the back end, of course, it's not bad. Oh. I wouldn't want to sit here and drink that straight, though. It's just not my thing. Excuse me. I need a beer to wash it down. Okay, so we want to add a little bourbon flavor to the Tangerine Cream Ale that's not been altered yet. Here we go. We're just going to do a little bit. Let's see how that tastes. You swirl it around a little bit. If you put in too much, it makes the beers go flat. So let's see. Cheers again. It hasn't altered the flavor that much. We'll go a little bit more. See what that does. Okay, here we go. Cheers. Yeah, it's just not the same as aging beer in a bourbon barrel that has been used with bourbon in it. That's not good. That's not an improvement. Just mixing it with the Moosehead is an improvement. Yeah, that's nice. This one's empty. This one's empty. Moosehead, we still have a little bit. Yeah, that's good. The beer alone is pretty good. The beer with the Moosehead in it, to me, is a little bit better. With the bourbon in it, that just doesn't work. I don't recommend putting bourbon in beer. But it was worth a try. Even though I only put a little bit in. It's not awful. Maybe it's just the wrong bourbon. I don't know. I know I'm kind of all, kind of all over the place here. You know, that might actually grow on me. Oh, well. It is what it is. I hate that saying, but I always use it. Let's put a little more of that one in there. Scientific experiments. That's probably good after you've had 4 or 5 beers, and then you start doing that, and then next thing you know, you don't remember what happened in the morning. You don't remember what you did all night. So I'm going to stay away from that. But Moosehead and Tangerine Cream Ale together is actually pretty good. We'll just go with that. And that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye.